Welcome to toy-polloi.
Hello and welcome to another video from toy-polloi, and today we're going to be taking a look at these 4 new figures from the Next 17. Now, I've reviewed their figures before. They produce new figures based on the old sort of Kenner style figures, but figures that were never produced. And today we have Obi-Wan Kenobi, Tatooine Arrival. In the middle we have Jaquil. On the right we have Tanus Spijek, and at the front we have a baby Wampa. So let's take a look at all of these in closer detail. So first up we have a figure that I never knew I needed until I saw it, and now that I've got it in hand, it really is a very cute figure indeed, and that is a baby Wampa. This is the sort of the idea that, well, you know, Wampas live on the ice planet Hoth, and new Wampas have got to come from somewhere. So Mr. and Mrs. Wampa are stuck in those ice caves, and yeah, after a few months the baby Wampa arrives, and I think this is a lovely little figure. It is so sort of cute and diddy. It comes with this little accessory which is a bone, which I think is really quite cute, and that fits very nicely in his hand. And as you can see, it's a sort of shrunk down version of an adult Wampa. It's got the nice fur detail. It even has the same sort of strange leg structure that the large Wampa has, the way that the legs are slightly sort of offset, the bottom of the feet are slightly offset, so he sort of stands with his feet wide open. I think this is a really lovely little figure. It's so cute and so sort of diddy. You can just about move his little horns up and down there, and he's got 4 points of articulation, so you can move his arms and you can move his legs. He's just a very sweet little figure, and I think he's going to look absolutely lovely on display with my full-size Wampa that you can see in the background there. It's just a nice little idea for a figure. I wouldn't imagine that Hasbro will ever produce a figure like this, because obviously this is not something that you see in the movies, but I just think it's quite a cute little thing, and I can certainly see a lot of people wanting to add this to their collection. He's just rather sweet. So yeah, it's a really nice little sort of off-screen idea of a Star Wars figure, something you don't see in the Star Wars universe, but I can guarantee it must exist somewhere there. Next we have 2 rather unique looking characters which are actually seen in the background of Jabba's palace. We have Jaquil and we have Tanus Spijek. Please excuse me if I'm saying those names wrong. They are spelt rather strangely, and I'm doing the best I can. So these are characters that you really only see in the background of the odd shot in Jabba's palace, and so what the Next 17 has done is taken those and sort of worked them up into what they would look like if they were sort of Kenner style action figures. So you can see here the construction of this one is very similar actually to an Ewok in the way the legs move. So when we rotate the legs, they sort of splay out, so it's very similar to that. You can see we've got quite a nice sort of sculpt on the head there. I don't really know what these characters look like. I've seen a couple of photos of them, sort of background characters, but they're a little bit vague and a little bit sort of odd, so I think this is a fairly good interpretation of what they look like. You can see this one comes with a little knife there, and he also comes with this belt, and the reason he's got a belt is because underneath that you can see there are these strange little breasts. That's because the body of this figure is the same body used on that one there, but with a different paint scheme. But it's a good way of sort of reusing parts to make a couple of figures. I think it's rather nice. I certainly don't recognise this character from the movies, but if you're going to be building dioramas of Jabba's palace, this would be a unique one to add there in the background. And if you've seen some of my other reviews of figures, that you'll know that previously the Next 17 has done Effontmon, so I'll just bring him in so you can see that. So there is Effontmon, and these 2 characters do stand rather nicely when you put it with Effontmon, and certainly, as I say, for dioramas, these are great new characters. So the next one we have is Tanus Spijek. I think I prefer this one a little bit more. I like that sort of face. It's a very strange looking face with some sort of teeth sticking out of it. But as you can see, this one has these little odd breasts on the front of it. So they are hidden by the belt on that one. But on this one you can see that, that they are sculpted in. It's the same body, as I say, just with a different paint scheme. So it has the same sort of articulation. You can rotate the legs and they sort of splay out like that. And this guy comes with a little black plastic mace which fits rather neatly in the hands. I do like these figures. They're sort of a fairly novel ones because, as I say, they are such background characters, but I like the way they are constructed. They have a really nice feel to them. Unlike the Kenner figures, I'm going to say these have all been painted, so they look like they're cast in a white plastic of some sort, and then the paint is applied on top of it. So there's no sort of bare plastic sticking through. Everything on them has been painted, but it gives them a really nice sort of feel, and they've got a very good weight to them, and they do look rather nice when you start to get up a collection of them, have them on display like this. I know Hasbro have made some of these characters in sort of more modern lines. I think it will be unlikely that Hasbro will take these characters on for the retro collection. They're certainly working on more mainstream figures at the moment, and these sort of odder background characters are less likely to be made. So it's nice that the next 17 is producing these for people to enjoy. Now the final figure that I've been sent is this one, which is the Tatooine arrival version of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I've previously shown another sort of variant of this, which is him in sort of his Sith outfit. This one has a slightly different head to that. This one doesn't have the robe going over his head, so it doesn't have the hood up, so you get to see all of Obi-Wan Kenobi's face there. It's actually a rather nice little sculpt. It does look quite a lot like Alec Guinness. This one also comes with the soft goods cape, so the fabric used is very similar to the fabric used in this sort of Jedi era of the Star Wars figures. I call this toy knit, but it can also be called looped fleece, and I use it quite often when I'm making capes for figures. But it's a really nice sort of feel to it. It does feel like a vintage cape. He comes with a blue lightsaber. This is not a reproduction of a lightsaber. This is an all new sort of style lightsaber, so it's got a bit more of a square handle with the little buttons on the side. The back side of that is blank, and it fits very neatly into the hands there. Again, like the other figures, I don't think this has been cast in brown plastic. It looks like it's been cast in a sort of white plastic, and then it's been painted brown. These are all factory made, these figures, so they're not sort of handmade or homemade. These are produced in a factory, so they do have a really nice quality to them, and they feel really sturdy. But yeah, that's a quite nice sort of unique take on Obi-Wan Kenobi there. Along with the figures, I was also sent this card, which is something I really like. It's sort of carries on from the backing cards from the old Kenner era figures. So we've got numbers 94 to 102, 101 and 102 have been blacked out, and it shows you the figures that are currently available from the next 17 with all of their names here. But as you can see, the names are blacked out at the bottom there, so I wonder what those ones are. And on the back of it, it has all of the information for the next 17, of which I will be putting links to this in the description. So if you want to get these figures for yourself, then do check that out. So there we go, there are the new figures from the next 17. I do have to say I really love this little Wampa. It's so cute, and I'm going to be putting that on display with my original Wampa, because I just think it looks really nice having him standing next to it. And a couple more characters to go with Jabba's palace can't be a bad thing. So those two figures there, Jaquil and Tanus Spijek, are fantastic. If you want these figures for yourself, then do check out the links in the description, because there are more figures than just the ones that I'm showing here. So check out some of my previous reviews of the next 17 figures. If you've enjoyed this video, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell to be notified each time I upload a new video. And thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching toy-polloi. Subscribe for more great videos. You can also follow toy-polloi on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.